Oh, hey guys, wanted to send a quick video. I know I said I would do this sooner, so anybody that needs any help with their homework, I know you only have tonight and tomorrow to finish, but you can always ask me questions during class. So the first page is just multiplication. Just remember our steps: 9 times 4, 36, carry the 3, 4 times 4, 16, plus 3 is 19. You got these nice little boxes so you can keep it all organized. 9 times 4 is 36, plus the 1 is 37. I always cross out the regrouping so I don't get it mixed up. Cross out the ones place. You've already multiplied that, right? Put your placeholder in there. You can put an X or a 0, whatever you want. 5 times 9 is 45. Carry the 4. 5 times 4 is 20. Plus 4 is 24. Carry the 2. 5 times 9 is 45, plus 2 is 47. You just have to go slow and hit these boxes, right? I mean, there is not any earth-shattering math problems here for you guys. If you remember to put in your placeholder and you remember to do your regrouping right, it's kind of hard to miss these. Then if you go 6 plus nothing is 6. 9 plus 5 is 14. Regroup the 1. 7 plus 1 is 8. Plus 4 is 12. Regroup the 1. 7 plus 3 is 10, plus the 1 is 11. Regroup the 1, 4, 5, and you would get your answer. We make a lot of mistakes right here, and right here. We do all the hard work, and then we make a simple mistake. So we will continue to see this problem on our Math Monthly tests, at least one, sometimes two of them. And parents, whoever's watching this, we had problems that were just like this, and only like, what was it, 42% of our class got it right. 100% of them know how to do the whole problem. Not 100, or 100% of them know how to do the multiplication, I should say. Not 100% of them remember to do this, this, or this. So we have to go slow and take our time on these. We will get at least 2 of these on every test for the rest of the year. And we're not really doing that great on them. All right. The next page is our division problems. Now, we didn't really do the traditional long division way that we showed the parents. We're doing our partial products, taking chunks out. You can use your area model boxes. I like doing the partial products. So I'm going to try to figure out 13. How many times 13 can fit into that 962? So I know we always say take 10 out, but 10 is only 130, and that's not really a lot when you're looking at 900. So I'm going to try to get much bigger here and take out, let's take out 50, 13 50s. So I don't want to make any mistakes since I didn't look at this ahead of time. I don't have my answers like I normally do, so I'm probably going to make some mistakes. 3 times 0 is 0, 15, placeholder, 50. That equals 650. So now I'm going to take 650 out of this. That leaves me with 2 and 1 and 3. Now remember, you could be taking out anything you want. We want to start to try to pick bigger numbers, right? So now I know if I take 10 out, that's 130. If I take 20 out, that would be about 260. So that sounds good. So 20 times this 13 is 260, which then gives me 52. And then now I've got to get the 13 to go into the 52 that's left. Can't be 5 because that would be too big. 4 sounds like it's probably right. 4 times that 3 is 12. Carry the 1. 4 times 1 is 4, plus that 1 is 5. So I got my answers, and my answer is just by adding these two numbers together, right? Which would be 50, 60, 70, 4. Now, if your parents are showing you long division the regular way, we didn't do that because it's not part of our standard. That's a 6th grade standard where they show you to do the traditional long division. We want to just keep taking those chunks out of there to understand what the numbers really mean. We can use the area model boxes, which, to be honest, even sometimes confuse me. Or we can use the partial products, taking chunks of those numbers out. to help us. So if I did one more over here, 21, I'm going to try to figure out how many 21s I need to take out of 860. Well, that's kind of 21 into 860. That's usually it's around a 4, right? So it'd be about 40. So 40 times 21, or 21 4 times, would be about 84. So it'd be 840. Gosh, I hope I just did that right. Oh, look, I only got 21 left. So 21 would go into there one time, and my answer would be 41. Now, to be clear, we will see this problem written pretty much kind of like this 2 or 3 more times. Sometimes they give you multiple choice and you can eliminate some of the choices. Sometimes they don't. Pick the way that works best for you. If you have to take 10 out every single time, like going, whoops. If you have to go here and do this problem, like take out a 10, that would be 110 and subtract. Take out a 10, 110. Take out a 10. If that's the way you have to do it to get it right, and keep going until you're down to nothing, do it. But start to practice. The reason I give you all these is I want you to start practicing taking out these bigger numbers. And you have to remember our place value. So like it's not 4 times 21, that's only 84. We need to use 40, right? So even though we're working with the 4 and the 20, you got to remember you've got to use your place values and get those zeros in there to get to the 840s. So practice those. Try taking out bigger numbers, 10s, 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s. Take them out. If you can't do it, get a bigger piece of paper and do it by 10. You almost can't mess it up if you use the 10s. That's a lie you get. All right. Then the next part that was on our last monthly test was adding the fractions. We didn't do horrible, but we didn't do great. Now, here's the problem. If you can't add these fractions, there's a lot of fractions in 5th grade pretty much 100% come down to knowing a lot of rules. There's not a whole lot of hard math problems that come along with this. You have to remember with fractions, adding and subtracting, you have to find the common denominator. We've been doing multiplying where we don't find a common denominator. We just multiply. What's going to happen now is, I see it every year. Now we go back, and when they throw these on to our next math monthly check, they're going to give you adding ones again. And you guys aren't going to want to find the common denominator anymore. You have to know the rules, adding and subtracting. You have to know that there's a common denominator. Multiplying, you don't. And they're going to start giving us problems where you're going to have to figure out whether you add, subtract, or multiply. And it comes down to like one word, like 1 or 2 words in that question is what changes everything. So for number 1, and we've also been turning those mixed numbers into improper fractions to multiply because it's easier. We can do that with adding too. We didn't really talk about that because in the adding and subtracting, you don't really have to. You can just add the whole numbers. Multiplying, you can't just multiply the whole numbers. You've got to get them back into the fraction. So you could do that, but I'm not really going to worry about it. So number 1, our common denominator would be 21. So I've got a 21 here, so this is going to stay the same. So to get a 21 down here, I have to multiply by 3. If I multiply the bottom by 3, I got to multiply the top. That would equal 9. Now I have a common denominator that is 21, so that's good. 3 plus 1 is 4. 17 plus 9 is 26. Now, all of my lazy friends, not everyone, just the ones that would ask me if they have to reduce that or make that equal the lowest possible denominator, the lowest possible factor. Those are the lazy people, because you should always do it. Because on a test, if they gave you multiple choice, they could give you this answer, but they could also give you 21 into 26 goes 1 time. So that's 1 whole that gets added to this 4. So that would be a 5 wholes now. And then if we took 21 away from this 26, that leaves us with 5 left over, and our denominator doesn't change. So they can write either of these as your option for as your option for the answers on a multiple choice test. So you guys, a lot of you people do all the work and then you get this, and then you look over at the choices and it's not there, but this one is. And instead of reducing it down, you go, I'll pick something close to this. And I promise you, they'll write something very, very close to this to get you to pick it. They'll put 4 and 21, 26 or something like that with the same numbers. You go, that's close enough. Always, always, always figure out all the way they work. And on our homework next week, there'll be a few problems like that. So go through the rest of these adding ones. That should be a review. Then subtracting. Subtracting, we have to find the common denominator, right? So in number 1, it would be 12. So if to get a 12 down here, I had to multiply by 3. So up here, you have to multiply by 3. 5 minus 1 is 4. 3 minus 1 is 2. The denominator stays the same. This may or may not show up as your answer on a test because 2/12 can be reduced down, right? If there's a number that goes equally into both of them, you can reduce it down. There are only 2 numbers that could go into 2. A 1, which basically you can do to every single fraction because it doesn't change anything. 1 goes into 2, 2 times. 1 goes into 12, 12 times. Or a 2. So 2 is the biggest thing we can divide into both numbers. Does a 12 go into a 6? I just said the answer. Does a 2 go into a 12? It does 6 times. So divide the top by 2, divide the bottom by 2, and you get 4 1/6. Once again, they can put either one of these as the answer on your test. We missed a lot of problems because of this on the other test. They can put either one. Now, this one, we didn't have to do any regrouping. I don't think any of these you really have to regroup. So this is just practice getting the common denominator, keeping it all organized, and subtracting. Multiplying. We've done this 9 trillion times this week alone. All you have to do to multiply this whole number by a fraction is turn that whole number, this 8, into a fraction. We spent 2 weeks, a couple of weeks back, talking about how fractions are division problems. So what number, and we know that the number goes below in the denominator, the bottom number, what number is going to turn that 8 into a fraction? And it has to be, the number on the bottom has to go into 8 times. Oh, wait. It's 1. It's 1 for every of them, for every one of them. To turn a whole number into a fraction, you put it over 1. Now, here's the cool part. You just multiply. 1 times 8 is 8. 2 times 1 is 2. Once again, on your test, this may be the answer they write there. It may also not be there because you have to recognize that's a division problem. 2 goes into 8 how many times? 4. So a lot of you guys ran through this and just put 1 and went 4 over 2. And then a lot of you put 1 and you went 2 over 2. And a lot of you put 1 and you got 6 over 6. And a lot of you put 1 and you did 8 over 2. And you're like, I'm done. I need you to explore all the possible answers because numbers can be equal even though they look totally different, right? So you have to reduce those down. 2 goes into 8 4 times. 6 goes into 6 1 time. 1, 2. You have to do that because we need, on these tests, you need to look at the choices and make sure you pick the ones that make the sense. All right, so these last couple, I don't have the answers. So this is where I could mess up. Multiplication, 2-step problems just for practice. I'll give you a little hint. Whenever I give these to you, it's kind of cheating, but it tells you up here at the top what you got to do. So this is multiplication and division. This is just for straight up practice with word problems. I purposely throw in junk information to try to confuse you. So let's do the first one and see if I can handle it. A land prospector bought 9 acres of land for which he paid $56 each. He then divided up the land into 8 equal lots for farms. How much did each lot cost for him to buy? How much did each lot cost for him? He broke them into 8 equal lots. I even have them write the word in there sometimes to see if you guys will pay attention. I'm so mean, it's ridiculous. So first, we need to figure out how much money he spent, right? So he spent $56 for each acre. So we have to take the $56 and times it times the amount of acres he bought to find the grand total of how much he spent, right? 9 times 6 is 54. I've had a hard time with my nines multiplication facts, like around 4, 5, and 6 lately. I don't know why. They always slip my mind. So hopefully I'm not wrong. 9 times 5 is 40. 5 plus 5 is 50. So he spent $504. Now, a lot of you guys stop right there and go, "Oh, that's how much did each lot cost him? He spent $504. I'm done." Or you take 56 and divide by 9. I can't emphasize enough. All of 5th grade math, like literally 100% of it, is reading the words. There are no real hard math problems. This math problem is a 3rd grade math problem, right? So now we need to find out how much each lot costs. So we need to take the $504 and divide it by the amount of lots he bought. So I kind of do the quick, short division way. You can solve it any way you want. 8 goes into 56 times. That would give me 48. So that would leave 2 left over. Drop down the 4. I'm going old school shorthand long division. 8 then goes into 24. What is it? 3 times. So it's about $63 a lot. Now remember, up here he paid 56 for 9 lots. So when he breaks it, or for 9 acres. So when he breaks them into 8 lots, the answer should be the lots are going to cost a little more because there's less of them, right? So your answer, if you're doing an estimate, right when you see 56 for 9, and now we're breaking them into 8, you should know that the lots are going to cost a little bit more, right? Overall, the lots will cost a little more than the acres because there's more of the lot or less of the lots. So the price is going to go up for each one. All right. If you guys have any questions about any of those other ones, let me know and I can help you out tomorrow.